Hey guys, Jacqueline Fernandez here at the Alert Center. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. Of course, we are so excited gearing up for the College World Series this year, and there are some safety tips or some items for you to be aware of. So that's kind of what I wanted to go over with you this afternoon. So if you can, just kind of take it step by step, because we did get this lengthy press release from the Omaha Police Department kind of giving us a better idea of, you know, what they're going to be doing out there, where they'll be, and what you can do. Their biggest takeaway message is basically, if you see something, say something, right? So they want to make sure we're kind of all on the same page here. So while I'm chatting about this, I'm just going to have the CWSOmaha.com kind of over my shoulder here. And as we kind of get started and chat about just safety procedures, what you and your neighbors can do to make sure that you're safe out there. So basically, Omaha police say they will have additional police presence patrolling along the riverfront and in the Old Market area. They say that they will be visible there and on hand if anything kind of gets out of hand. Let's say there's some fans that are a little too overexcited about winning the game or losing, right? On the other hand, if you see, you know, suspicious bag or something, you know, police say, please do let them know. If you don't happen to see police around, your best bet is to, of course, call 911. Now, also of note, and this is very important, this is something that they are taking very seriously, so a clear small bag policy does still remain in effect at Charles Schwab Field. So for a visual, I like to think of like a 1 gallon plastic bag, plastic freezer bag, so that's allowed. And I've been known to carry those along like a clear bag myself. So that kind of gives you an idea of what size we're talking about here. Next, I feel like this kind of goes without saying, but perhaps not. Keep all your weapons at home, right? So this includes replicas or toy guns or toy knives or whatever you can come up with. So make sure you check your kids' pockets if they have some of that stuff left over from playing earlier. Also, no outside food and beverages. There is I should say, you can rather take a 20-ounce clear plastic bottle into the stadium. Make sure it's not filled up with any water beforehand, just to keep on the safe side. Last year, I do know from firsthand experience, they did have little water stations kind of throughout Charles Schwab. So, you know, that's of course free and available for guests. It will likely be very hot out there, so something to keep in mind, and just a suggestion. And again, I mean, if you do purchase maybe a water bottle in the park itself, you can always refill at those free stations. So that's something of note. You cannot bring in alcohol. Sorry guys, you have to pay for that at the field. Animals are not allowed, so I'm gonna have to leave Ollie at home, leave Fido at home if you can. The exception, of course, is service animals. So service animals are, of course, allowed. This is interesting of note. Cameras are allowed, so that's good news. And the clear plastic bag rule does apply for camera equipment as well. But again, leave the telephoto lenses at home. You want to make sure that you know, you're not kind of defeating the purpose on a fan level, and we'll leave that to the professionals, if you will. So the list kind of does go on. I'm just going to kind of take a look at my notes here and just make sure that I'm covering kind of everything in the order that I wanted to cover. Okay, let's move ahead to traffic, tailgating, and parking. So tailgating is allowed, right? It's inside parking in the Mecca managed surface parking lots. They're saying grills and other personal property must kind of be maintained and kept in that specific tailgate area. You're not allowed to drive into extended lanes or, you know, save another parking spot, this kind of thing. So if you are planning on going out and tailgating, make sure you have fun, but make sure you kind of know the rules ahead of time. And tailgating is not allowed, they did say this in the presser here, in the CHI Health Center Omaha garage. As far as tailgating goes, make sure your personal property, so that includes grills and all your stuff, is removed from parking lots at the end of each night. So these parking lots open at 8 o'clock in the morning and then close 90 minutes following the conclusion of the last game. So something to note there. Also of importance, there are a few ADA parking lots available, but those are limited to 3 specific lots, right? So lots A, B, and D, they're on the Mecca campus. It's super advisable that you arrive early if you are looking to secure one of these ADA spots, because there are not a lot of these spots available. Also, if you're traveling with someone who has a disability, you can drop them off at the southwest side of the stadium. That's near the corner of 12th and Mike Fahey Streets. Elevators are located south of the ticket windows near Gate 2, as well as south of Gate 1. And this is the Suite Club entrance off of 13th Street. So they are trying to make it as ADA accessible as they possibly can out there, to just try to kind of avoid the traffic and just all the general mayhem and excitement that is coming our way. Park Omaha, this is really great. They have a website and parking app. So this will help you kind of locate those key parking spots if that's really what you're looking to find. If you're looking to just, brave the crowds, take it easy, drive down there and see what you can get. That's probably the best way, best advisable way, I would say, to find parking. I also know from personal experience in the app, you can download the app or upload the app to your iPhone or phone and put in your information, your license plate, all the information that they require. Give them, a credit card number so that way you can kind of manually keep track. I like to set little reminders for myself, your parking meter is going to expire at a certain time, and then maybe 5 minutes before you let yourself know, and then make sure you just pop that extra cash in there so that you secure that spot and don't get one of those unwanted parking violations. The other cool news, AAA Nebraska offering free tow, lockout, and jumpstart service to any patrons from 12 to 10 p.m. each game day. So that's a really nice service that they're doing, especially if you're traveling out of town. I can only imagine your car breaks down. What are you going to do? You're around all this traffic. You're around all these people. So that service is free and available. It's 1-800-AAA-HELP, or you can contact an officer station near the Charles Schwab Field. So there are people available out there. A quick reminder, of course, you don't want to leave your valuables inside your vehicle. And if you're like me and you might want to bike down there, this is kind of cool. They do offer alternative transportation options. They do have a free bike valet service and parking corral is what they call it. And it's as well as a designated scooter parking spot. So this is between 13th and 14th Street on Mike Fahey Street. And the bike corral is free, and they do have a volunteer who stays there with the bikes to make sure that they're being, kept, to make sure they have extra eyes on the bikes, make sure no one's gonna, kind of rummage in and get a free bike while they're kind of roaming around the CWS area. And the bike valet is available 30 minutes before to 30 minutes after each game. So again, might want to set yourself a reminder, kind of just keep up to track with, what time frame you're in, so you want to make sure that the volunteers are there watching out for your bikes. Scooters are allowed, of course. A lot of rules to follow for the scooters. Make sure you're on the right side of the roadway. Don't forget to use your turn signal, this kind of thing. So remember, they cannot be operated on sidewalks. I see a lot of people do this regardless of what time of the year it is, CWS especially. You're not required to have a driver's license, something good to know, not required to have car insurance, and you are encouraged, but it is not illegal should you choose not to wear a helmet. And there's a huge section on motorized scooter operation violations. If you want to read that, I'll let you do that on your own time. The other cool thing, buses. So Orbit is offering a free park and ride lot at the Westroads Transit Center. So that's kind of cool, and you can follow along with their app, My Ride OMA, and that's real time. So it kind of shows you exactly, where the buses are and where they're heading. If you're waiting to get to the ballpark there. Taxi stands are available. We have the pedicabs. Those can be a lot of fun. Rideshare, of course, so your Ubers, your Lyfts. Rideshare pickup and drop-off will be located towards the north end of the curb, cut out along 10th Street in front of the CHI Center in Omaha, and signs will be posted there. So last year, took an Uber down there myself. It was super easy. Follow the signs. They drop you off. Not a big deal. So that is good to know. Just kind of going through this presser here for you. So some other stadium information for you. Gates open 2 hours in advance of game time. Parking lots open at 8 a.m. for all game days. So if you want to head down there early, maybe get that parking spot that you've been coveting, and kind of, get some breakfast, get some, take in the day. There's going to be a lot of events down there. Something else of note, fans must leave between games Gates will reopen as soon as possible once the stadium has been cleared. So this is kind of a way they're keeping an eye on ticket holders and making sure everyone's following those rules. Now, if you need to leave the stadium and then re-enter, you can do that, but remember you're going to go back through screening. No overnight parking allowed. Parking lots close 90 minutes after the last game of the day, and any vehicles left in those parking lots will be towed. So make sure you, again, have that alarm handy if that's how you like to manage what you're doing out there. Also of note, Charles Schwab Field, Omaha, smoke-free facility. So make sure you're following that policy. Smokers must stay 20 feet away from the gate entrance. Electronic or vape cigarettes are also not allowed on the premises of the ballpark. Now, with few exceptions, all tickets are digital, so I won't go into that, but do make sure that you are prepared and have your digital ticket available. Make sure you've got that clear gallon-sized plastic bag. Make sure you're ready to sweat out there, right? So that's also part of it. So I'm going to head over to our full screen now. So here's the CWSOmaha.com website. We also have all this information on our website as well. That is WOWT.com, along with our latest news headlines too. So we have this all laid out very clearly. I showed you yesterday. We have an article that kind of shows you like who's playing and when and what times and when you want to be there and when you want to get excited and all that good stuff. So again, that's our website, WOWT.com. So it is going to be hot out there. This is our top story on our website right now. Of course, we'll have to hear from our meteorologists how much hotter it's going to be or cooler come Friday and the progressing days. So, speaking of weather, let's take a look outside. Here's a live look from our Blackstone camera. It looks, I don't know, kind of like cloudy or hazy out there. The sun kind of poking through in different spots, but I do know it's going to be a hot one today. It's going to be a scorcher. Let's take a look from our First National Bank. Yeah. So green out there. Shot of the Jean Leahy Mall. Here's another sort of hazy picture for you, live look at the Desert Dome out there at the zoo. So yeah, you can see the dome glistening a bit, so all is well. And then of course, everyone's excited for Charles Schwab Field. Look how beautiful that is. Of course, this shot will be filled with people sooner than later. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining me at the Alert Center for some safety tips for CWS fun. Make sure you go out there and have some fun. And as I always like to say, just be smart out there, have fun, and enjoy your time. And don't forget to stay hydrated. Until then, we'll have more on this coming up in our first broadcast, 1 to 3 with Dave Zavolinsky. Thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful day.